twisted on my limbs for you. 2 of them in knots and 2 of them in loops. Ribbons tied around like a noose. Wonder if I'll ever get it loose. I don't wanna bruise for you. Holding back my words until my face is blue. I don't really care about your crew. You can tell them what you wanna do. Bones are crushing, pushing me. Bodies touching, echoes pumping, feeling nothing. Bones are crushing me. Bodies touching me. I'm done doing that. Pens are breaking, the snap is no fun. Push myself into a box for you, hell out of good, and I'm done. Twisting on my bones like screws. Stretching my self-worth just like you usually do. Caught you like the cold or a flu. Achoo! Praying that I'll someday be immune. Got me like a bad tattoo. Always under skin, even when it gets removed. Never get a chance to undo positions that you forced my way into. Bones are crushing me. Bodies touching, echoes pumping, feeling nothing. Bones are crushing me. Bodies touching me. Wow! I'm done doing that. Pens are breaking, the snap is no fun. Push myself into a box for you, hell out of good, and I'm done. Bones are crushing me. Bodies touching me. Echoes pumping, feeling nothing. Bones are crushing me. Bodies touching me. Echoes pumping, wow!
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It is Memorial Day. Woo woo, whatever that means. If you're celebrating, have fun. Be safe. Be responsible. Don't drink and drive. And if you're having to work today, I'm sorry. But anyhow, let's see who is here. Hey, Lexi, Maribel, Kim, what's up? More than enough. Good to see you. Wild one. Hell yeah. Hey, Fancy. Fancy Pants. Crazy question, but is everyone with a wrench a mod? Yes. Zoe Randazzo. Hello. Teacher Mom. Long time no see. Cassandra. Long time no see. Oh, Natclo too. We got people in here today. Hey, still Nat and Boston Chick. Yes, I have seen Gypsy's post. Hey, Alan Lamb. Mary. Oh, I don't know how to say that last name. Tracy. Lanky Tor was here way earlier. Mona KW. What's up? Judy. TD Misty. Time to cry. Roll call. Seahead. Buttons and gadgets. So every time I say something about how Gypsy looks, I get blocked for a day from commenting on YouTube. What? They can do that? They can block? I've never heard of YouTube doing that. Michelle Akers. Crystal Steinacher. Did I say that right? Yes, shout out to Lanky Tour if she hears it on the replay. Love you so much. I know, I miss you too, Cassandra. I haven't been in the Discord. You know, let's take a break from all that. But my kids are out of school, so I'm even extra busy. Was able to squeeze in some time today, so I thought I might as well go live and talk about this because I'm watching it all go down and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What is going on? There's so much to unpack. I mean, now Katie Joy, like, Katie Joy is the worst. She's like, oh, I won't say that because some people in here like Natasha Cooper, but Katie Joy may just be one step below Natasha Cooper. It is hot, Nat Chloe. It's so hot already. Yeah, Katie Joy is I cannot even. So I guess Jip Jip is getting pretty damn desperate because Bri isn't doing her job, right? So Bri, her big white niter bro. We talked about Bri on my last live stream if you missed it. But Bri is a huge Gypsy simp or a stan, whatever you want to call it. But Bri cannot. Bri can't handle the heat. She can't be in the kitchen. She can't do it. She does not like the response of the bullshit that she spews from her mouth. And she doesn't stand on anything she actually says. So she put all her accounts on private and basically nobody can even watch them. So what is the point of doing them in the first place? To convince what 20 people? 20 people? And then delete it and no one ever gets to watch it. Katie No Joy is a weirdo and horrific. Yep. Hey, my pal Sal Vintage. Good to see you, Penny P. Mishi. Oh, and Bri is so arrogant. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. She really doesn't. She really doesn't. And she does not like for people to challenge her on anything that she says. And now you got Katie Joy. Like, this is what I was trying to get to. So Bri isn't quite cutting it, right? That's the biggest voice they have that's on their side. Morbid pointed this out the other night, how there's like no Gypsy supporters on YouTube. Like, I haven't really come across any YouTube channels that are like, yeah, leave Gypsy alone. But on TikTok, there's a few over there. And now you got Katie Joy all over her Instagram simping for Jip Jip after she threw Gypsy and Christy under the bus in less than 24 hours, was kissing their ass. Yeah. Everyone knows who Katie Joy is. Like, I don't even have to go into that, do I? Because I can do a whole live stream about just Katie Joy. But if you look it up on YouTube, there's a lot of channels that just strictly cover Katie Joy. One of them is called Crystal Bill. I think she's Australian. I love her. I've never went in her chat, but I've listened. There's a lot of exposed channels out here on Katie Joy and all of her lawsuits and restraining orders and whatever else. She's a weird one. And I think she latched on to Jip Jip because Katie Joy was accused of having Munchausen by proxy by the internet. The internet accused her. Your dog knows who Katie Joy is? Starlight, have you seen Katie Joy's older videos where she was against? No, Mishi. Oh, how can I get those? Are you in Discord? I don't remember. The easiest place for me is Discord. It's easy to access if I need to access it. But you can send it to my email. I would like to go over some of those. Yeah, just type her name in any search bar on any platform. Anti-KJ content. There's whole communities based on anti-KJ stuff. Yeah. Good job, Gyp Gyp. What was the serial killer's daughter not doing enough for you, Melissa Moore? Yeah, Melissa Moore, the blonde lady that's always with Gyp Gyp. Her dad is the happy face killer. I mean, but that I don't know. I don't know what her stance is on her dad. I've never looked that far into it. I used to be part of the anti-KJ community. See? A lot of people have. Yeah. I found Katie Joy through Teen Mom drama. She covered that. And I watched the whole brawl, if you want to call it that, between her and LB. You guys follow LB. She used to be, what was her name? Leslie Bass. I still peek in on her every now and then. She has a good relationship with Smiley Face Dad. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, hey, moderator. Long time no see. So, see, I can't remember everything the Happy Face Killer did. Well, obviously, he murdered people, but how many? Which one was he? He wasn't the one that dressed like a clown, right? Hey, Jetica. Nicole, you're here. We can all relax, take a sigh of relief. Who visits and writes the Happy Face? I don't know. But it's just, I don't know enough about Melissa Moore. But she doesn't, I don't like her. He would draw a smiley face. Okay, like BTK. Okay, John Wayne Gacy was the clown. You're right. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, I need to write this dude back in email. But shit, I can't even remember his channel name right now. But he has Murderabilia. Like, it's very interesting to me. So if you're out there lurking and listening, I'm going to write you back. I promise. I have the videos where she says she has a good relationship with her dad. I will send those. Okay. Oh, I uploaded a couple of clips. So I'm like, where do we even start? So, and I kind of want to say this, and maybe it's just me, but just want to say for the record, I had this rabbit hole video from the start, and that's all I will say. And somebody copied me, but that's okay because it matches their channel. But buckle up while we go down the Gypsy Rose rabbit hole. You creepy little bitch. The time. All right, so let's go ahead and just start with a Gyp Gyp over here on the Tiki Talk. So a couple of hours ago, and if you notice, everyone that's been following this, Gypsy deleted her baby reindeer video. which was really creepy because I haven't watched it yet, but I know a lot of people that have watched it, and it's not like something that warranted her response. It was just odd. I have it. I just haven't uploaded it yet, but she deleted it. She deleted that one. Very odd. And when Jip Jip last left us, so to speak, she said, "Hey Nina," she said that she was logging off. She was going to go touch grass, prioritize her family and her relationship with Ken, which, in my opinion, I think her relationship with Ken may be on the rocks. Okay. Because it's a very sus behavior. I think that Jip Jip needs the validation of Ken, like doing what she did on her Instagram. She like posted this big lovey bullshit post about Ken. It's on my community post, or you can just go to her Instagram and look yourself. But he did not even respond or anything, and he doesn't really post on social media. And I think she's going to need that validation from him. She wants that, "Yes, baby, I love you. Let me make my whole Instagram just me and you," like Ryan wanted to do. Ryan does that, right? Like Ryan's handsy, he's hands on. I don't see Ken really being like a PDA dude. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. He's a fucking moron. Just like she wants yes, she wants, and she really, really wants validation from celebrities. She wanted Joey King to meet up with her so bad. "Hey Nina, why are me and Sarah so blocked? We've been supportive of you." Oh Lordy. I think Fancy and Nina should talk. I think Fancy has a lot of things that y'all could benefit each other in that way. Sounds like she goes for the suckers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she has a type. Into the Weeds podcast. Hello. I think he wasn't about to put up with her new diva attitude. Oh, maybe. He had to knock her down a couple pegs. Kate Marie, yeah, so that happened. Like, I don't even know where to start here. We've got the stuff with Kate leaving TikTok. Gypsy and Katie Joy basically bullied her off of TikTok, an actual Munchausen by proxy victim, survivor, bullied straight off the internet. Hi, Angelica. All right, I'm going to read Jip Jip's post here. Hold on. So Gypsy says, "Don't ask me to relive my trauma for your personal curiosity. Don't demand to know the answers to questions that have no relevance in your life. Don't expect me to have overcome my past on your time. Don't tell me about my mistakes and choices when I am who has, sorry. Don't ask me about my mistakes and choices when I am who has to live with them on my conscience. Don't project what you want me to be because you find it more interesting. I am not a celebrity. I am a trauma survivor who is healing from emotional, mental, and medical abuse. I have shared my story in the hopes it would educate about Munchausen by proxy and inspire other survivors." You mean the ones that you shut down, Jip Jip? The one that you bullied? The one that you would not leave alone? That one? The one that's no longer on TikTok? Like those kind of survivors? Okay. Only to have my abuse be invalidated by content creators on social media who do not have any psychological education to back up their claims, despite multiple multiple psychiatrists specializing in Munchausen by proxy such as Dr. Mark Feldman, who interviewed for 2017's HBO's Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. She reviewed my medical records obtained for my case. He had high belief that my mother indeed had MBP. Don't ask me to advocate. I am healing. So now she doesn't want to be an advocate. Okay. What are you healing from again, Gypsy? How many times do you have to say you're going to tell your story like this fucking book? Like it's all my time to stand up, my story. We've heard your story, but it keeps changing. You keep adding more to it. Why don't you just fucking tell the story and get it over with? You are only known for murdering your mother. That is the only reason you are getting attention. Okay? Your mother did not have Munchausen by proxy. She did not. It's aggravating. I'm not gonna lie. It's aggravating. Like what the fuck? Okay, so there's that. I don't know what else to say about it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Yeah, I have several seats. What the fuck? And this after her baby reindeer post, but she spelled reindeer wrong, which was quite hilarious. Please tell me how she was too well to qualify for extensive trauma therapy. Bro said because she had already healed so much, that's why she didn't need it. Yeah, that's what everybody said. She's so strong. I think, look, what she needs to heal from. Oh, good stuff, Fancy. Get it, girl. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, she's definitely promoting her series. Thought she was taking a break. Yeah, this is her break. This is her fucking break. Have you seen Gypsy? Yes. Yes. Not with her sister. I just saw the one with her stepmom. Her sister and stepmom. Which one? Are you talking about her swimmy video? I wish she would have had some little water wings on. You know, the little floaties that you put on your little kids. Yes, total squirrel there, Cassandra. I don't know why she's allowed to profit off her crime either. So, okay, I'm trying to think of where I want to go from here because I have like 500 different things I want to talk about. So, we've got to kind of narrow it down here. I want to talk about the Becca Scoops video, which is really good. I have a couple of clips I uploaded. Maybe I'll show that real quick. So, Katie Joy Paulson, without a crystal ball, look her up. You won't find anything good. You don't find like crystal ball supporters. There's more anti-KJ groups. Okay, so she posted a couple of clips from Gypsy's testimony on the stand. And in the description, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if she testified for the defense or the prosecution because she's saying that she was trying to help and she was on the stand for the defense. Most people will be hate watching. Oh, I will. I'm not afraid to admit it. I will absolutely be watching that shit. Uh-oh, someone got blocked. All right. Here we go. So let's see. Which one is this? Hold on. I don't know how freaking Instagram works. So she says, Gypsy Rose Blanchard was a defense witness for Nicholas Godejohn. She was not called by the prosecution. She agreed to help him. Unfortunately, her testimony didn't work in their favor. The digital evidence from the case over and over proved that Nick was the one dictating every aspect of the crime. What? While Gypsy did agree to go along with the crime, there is evidence presented over and over that refutes the claims that Nick was manipulated. So she's saying that Nick was the manipulator, okay? Keep that in mind. Then she says, his lawyers got frustrated and almost treated her like a hostile witness when she when she was there to help him. They could not get around the facts. This is the truth, no matter how many people don't agree or want to support Nick. He was the one that groomed Gypsy. Did you hear that? Nick is the one who groomed Gypsy. Okay? That's what she said. She fucking said it. Okay, this is 30 minutes. I have the entire closing arguments too, where the prosecution flat out says Nick was not manipulated by Gypsy and that Nick was the domineering one in the relationship. Of course, that's what the prosecution's job is to do. Your dumbass believed it. I cannot. And everybody has the closing statements. They're on YouTube. All right, so I'm going to play her clip where she's saying that it says Gypsy Blanchard cross-examination / redirect at Nicholas Godejohn's trial. And I don't know how to make it any bigger, so hopefully you guys can hear it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, okay?
Yes, sir.
You were asked a little bit about during your relationship that these alter egos that the defendant and you came up with. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
It was the defendant who first introduced you to that idea of alter egos.
Yes, sir.
And he actually first told you about his alter ego, Victor. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And Victor was a vampire that was 500 years old.
Yes, sir.
And you decided to come up with your alter egos just to kind of please him.
Yes, sir.
And also, as part of this fantasy, you also started to kind of consider yourselves as master and slave, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the defendant was the master.
Yes, sir.
And you were the slave.
Yes, sir.
And at one point, he had sent you basically like a bill of sale, kind of ownership papers. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And those papers would basically mean that the defendant owned you.
Yes, sir.
And you also were asked a little bit about the videos that you and the defendant sent back and forth. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
And on a lot of those videos that you would send, the defendant would actually send you a script beforehand, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please keep in mind, the person questioning her right now is the prosecution. Their job is to make it look like Nicholas Godejohn is the mastermind.
And that script would instruct you on what to do in the videos.
Yes, sir.
And they weren't always things you wanted to do, correct?
That is correct.
But you did them anyways.
Yes, sir.
Because the defendant told you to.
Yes, sir.
Then at some point also the defendant at least communicated to you about rape fantasy. Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
And you weren't crazy about that idea, correct?
No, sir.
But I believe that as you described it before, you kind of just let him talk about it, correct?
Yes, sir.
To indulge him.
Yes, sir.
the defendant had told you that he had Asperger's, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the only real symptom or maybe personality trait that you noticed that you thought was a result of that was that he insisted that you always capitalize his name.
Yes, sir.
And he would get mad at you if you would talk to him and not capitalize his name, correct?
That is correct.
Prior to, you and the defendant first discussed the killing of your mom, I believe you said about a year prior, correct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to that, you had thought about it before, correct? Like just as a thought.
Yes, sir.
But it was once you were with the defendant that it really became a constant thought, correct?
That is correct.
And that was because the defendant had introduced you to some dark fantasies, correct?
That is correct.
And you felt by being with the defendant and these dark fantasies, that kind of helped bring that out of you.
Yes, sir.
And actually, at one point, the defendant told you he was an assassin in another life.
Yes, sir.
And that as an assassin, he could protect you or take care of you, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you had come up with the alternatives. I believe it was 3 plans, right? Plan A, B, and C, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the decision to murder your mom was always the last resort, correct?
Yes, sir.
But the murder was referred to as Plan B, right?
Yes, sir.
So A, B, and C kind of are a little out of order. Is that there?
That is correct.
Okay, so A is try to get mom to like defendant, correct?
That is correct.
And then C would be try to get you pregnant.
Yes, sir.
And you discussed those alternative plans with the defendant, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you discussed the fact that murdering your mom would be a last resort. You discussed that fact with the defendant.
Yes, sir.
Because you both knew that was a serious thing.
Yes, sir.
And the defendant knew that as well.
Yes.
At least he communicated that to you.
Yes.
And when it came to the movie theater, I think we heard that didn't go very well, right?
That is correct.
And basically, your mom thought a 26-year-old guy at a Disney movie by himself maybe a little creepy.
Yes.
Okay, so that plan didn't go well. And then when it came to the pregnancy, which I guess would be Plan C,
Yes.
At some point, the defendant didn't really want to do that plan anymore, correct?
He wanted to do it, but his mother wouldn't allow it.
So he basically told you, communicated to you, I can't do Plan C.
Correct.
But a couple weeks before the murder, you kind of still were suggesting to him, hey, could we hold off and try getting pregnant? Do you remember that?
Yes.
But the defendant never really gave you an answer on that. Do you recall?
No, he never gave me an answer on it.
He didn't say, sure, let's try that.
No.
So we can keep killing mom as a last resort, nothing like that.
Oh my God. I can't hardly listen to this. So, all right, let me bring up. These are just small clips that I grabbed while I could. So, hold on. So, Katie Joy wants to say that Nick was the manipulator. He manipulated Gypsy into murdering her mother. The evidence and everything proves otherwise. This is a really shitty screen recording because, like I said, I just uploaded it really fast. But
For a different section of the store.
And was she aware of any of this?
No, sir.
At some point, you decided to kill your mother, is that correct?
Yes.
When was that?
Thoughts of it started a year prior to the murder actually happening.
Whose idea was it to kill your mother?
Mine.
Why did you want to kill your mother?
Because I wanted to be free of her hold on me.
You hear that? Do you hear what she said? He said, why did you kill your mother? And she said, to get out of the control that she had on me. This was not about Munchausen by proxy. This was about, like Fancy said, like, this was done for the dick. Okay. It was. She wanted her mom gone so she could go and meet up with men. She could have easily walked out that door. Okay. There was no need for her mother to be murdered because Gypsy felt her mother was too controlling. And I'm using her own words. When she describes her mother, she describes her as controlling, overprotective, and that lines up with everything because she was way, way too overprotective. No one's denying that her mom was controlling and overprotective. But a lot of parents are, not to the extent of having your child shave their head, but my point is there was no need to murder her.
Did you and Nick ever talk about this?
Yes,
Who initially brought up killing your mother?
I did.
Okay, there you
Why
go.
not just tell somebody rather than kill your mother? Who initially brought up killing your mother?
I did.
Why not just tell somebody rather than kill your mother? Why was that not an option?
I truly didn't believe that nobody would believe me if I told anyone. My mother had legal documents in place saying that I was incompetent, and I thought that meant that if I went to anyone, the police, or told anyone, she would just have them convinced that I was making everything up.
At some point after you initially considered killing your mother, did you ever change your mind?
Yes,
Do you know when that was?
about 2 weeks before it happened.
Why did you change your mind and decide not to kill her?
I started having doubts, second thoughts.
Did you ever then change your mind back to the initial decision to kill her?
Yes,
Why did you change your mind back to killing her?
my mother and I got into an argument 2 days prior to the murder occurring. And Nick asked me, are we still doing this? Am I still, coming there to do this? Yes or no? And I said yes.
Who talked you into killing your mother?
I did. I talked him into it.
Case closed. There you go. She told him. She just fucking said it. She talked him into it. She talked him into it. What are we missing here? Ugh.
During the time you and Nick were together, did you ever engage in fantasies or role playing or anything like that?
Yes,
Did you have names?
yes.
Tell us.
Okay. Let me get my other one. Okay, so this is the defense opening testimony about Nicholas Godejohn. It's just a minute of it that I found interesting and clipped.
Most of us. He was born in the spring or other means of homicide. Now, Nick didn't come into this world like most of us. He was born in the spring of 1989. He was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. His tiny brain was deprived of oxygen, and his
So I did not know that. I did not know that Nicholas was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck, depriving his brain of oxygen. So he basically has a brain injury. Yes, Becca Scoops. I know. I need to play that. Yeah, Crystal Ball is a whole. It's not going to be good for her. She wants to talk about not a good look. Not a good look. Not a good look. defending Gypsy. I can't. But that's why I'm playing these, is because she's trying to say, without a crystal ball, is trying to say that Gypsy is, that Nick manipulated Gypsy into killing her mother. So that is not true. If you listen to her testimony, that is not true. If you read the text messages, if you go through the actual case, that is not it. No. Gypsy was the mastermind. Gypsy thought of it all, down to the knife that she stole and put in his hands. No, she shouldn't have any social public spotlight. You're right. But if she's going to have it, I'm going to be here to put the truth out. Okay? All right, let's listen to the rest of this.
Nick didn't come into this world like most of us. He was born in the spring of 1989. He was born with his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. His tiny brain was deprived of oxygen, and his family knew that there were going to be developmental delays. Nick went to school, in elementary school. He was diagnosed with autism. Nick was raised by his mother, a single mother at the time, who went through boyfriends back and forth. She worked several jobs to try to make ends meet, but she didn't give Nick the emotional support he needed. She was often absent, wasn't there. Nick's time was spent on the internet. He stayed in an upstairs bedroom on Cherry Street in Big Bend, Wisconsin, and that was his outlet to the world.
And he unfortunately came across Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I love how she even cut the duct tape. Yeah, she even cut the duct tape for him. Yep. Hey, XOXO. All right, I recorded another piece of it. Give me just a second. Okay. I don't know, because I really want to read you guys this article if you haven't read it yet. It's from, I think it was published in 2016. Okay, 2016. So about a year after the murder, I guess. We're going to read it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. Let me see if I can bring up. I've been playing with my settings over here. Let's see. What happened to my thing? Oh, there it is. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm going to read this news article. So here we go. This is on August 19th, 2016. And it says, Deedee wanted her daughter to be sick. Gypsy wanted her mom murdered. Deedee Blanchard was a model parent, a tireless single mom taking care of her gravely ill child. But after Deedee was killed, it turned out things weren't as they appeared, and her daughter Gypsy had never been sick at all. For 7 years before the murder, Deedee and Gypsy Blanchard lived in a small pink bungalow on West Volunteer Way in Springfield, Missouri. The neighbors liked them. Sweet is the word I'd use, a former friend of Deedee's told me not too long ago. Once you met them, people said they were impossible to forget. Deedee was 48 years old, originally from Louisiana. She was a large, affable-looking woman, which she reinforced by dressing in bright, cheerful colors. She had curly brown hair she liked to hold back with ribbons. People who knew her remembered her as generous with her time and, when she could, generous with money. Okay. Deedee was also very generous with her time. I'm just going to put that out there. So, to to get a Habitat for Humanity house, it's not like they just hand it over to you. You have to give your time, your volunteer hours into Habitat for Humanity. Okay. And Deedee did a lot of volunteering. She used to host things outside of the house where they would project movies onto the side of the house, and they would sell like candy and popcorn and things like that. All right. Deedee was 48 years old. Okay. Bright, cheerful colors, curly brown hair. People who knew her remembered her as generous with her time, when she could, generous with money. She could make friends quickly and inspire deep devotion. She did not have a job, but instead served as a full-time caretaker for Gypsy Rose, her teenage daughter. Gypsy was a tiny thing, perhaps 5 feet tall as far as anyone could guess. She was confined to a wheelchair. Her round face was overwhelmed by a pair of owlish glasses. She was pale and skinny, and her teeth were crumbling and painful. She had a feeding tube. Sometimes Deedee had to drag an oxygen tank around with them. Nasal, oh, if I say this wrong, I apologize. Nasal cannula looped around Gypsy's small ears. Ask about her daughter's diagnosis, and Deedee would reel off a list as long as her arm. Chromosomal defects. Okay, this is an article from 2016. Chromosomal defects, muscular dystrophy, epilepsy, severe asthma, sleep apnea, eye problems. It had always been this way, Deedee said, ever since Gypsy was a baby. She had spent time in neonatal intensive care. She had leukemia as a toddler. The endless health crisis had taken a toll. Gypsy was friendly, talkative even, but her voice was high and childlike. Deedee would often remind people that her daughter had brain damage. She had to be homeschooled because she'd never be able to keep up with other kids. Gypsy had the mind of a child of 7, Deedee said. It was important to remember that in dealing with her, that she had a mind of a 7-year-old. She loved princess outfits and dressing up. She wore wigs and hats to cover her small head. A curly, blonde Cinderella number seems to have been her favorite. She's wearing it in so many photographs of herself and her mother. She was always with her mother. Quote, "We are a pair of shoes," Gypsy once said, "never good without the other." Their house, like everyone else's around them, had been built by Habitat for Humanity. It had amenities specially built for Gypsy, a ramp up to the front door, a jacuzzi to help her muscles, yada, yada, yada. The money was to go to Gypsy's treatments. Oh, that's where it talks about, sorry. They would project movies on the side of the house for the children in the neighborhood whose parents usually couldn't afford to send them to the movie theater, came over for a treat. Deedee charged for concession, but it was still cheaper than the local movie. The money was to go to Gypsy's treatment. Deedee became particularly close with some people across the way, a single mother named Amy Pinegar and her 4 children. Over years of tea and coffee, Deedee would tell Pinegar her life story. She was originally from a small town in Louisiana, she said, but she had to flee her abusive family with Gypsy. It was her own father, Gypsy's grandfather, who'd been the last straw. He'd burnt Gypsy with cigarettes, so she'd lit out from her hometown for good. She told Pinegar that Gypsy's father was a deadbeat, an alcoholic drug abuser who had mocked his daughter's disability, called the Special Olympics a freak show, as Pinegar understood it. He'd never sent them a dime, not even when Deedee and Gypsy had lost everything in Hurricane Katrina. It was a blessing that a doctor at a rescue shelter had helped them get to the Ozarks. Dr. Beckerman. Dr. Beckerman. All right. Let me see how long this is. Maybe I don't want to read the whole thing. I might just make a separate video with this article. Look how long it is. There is a lot of interesting things in this article, though. That's why I'm pointing it out. Okay? I'm going to put the link of it in the chat because it is going to be way too long. Please use your Gypsy. Ah! Smokey! Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Gypsy Rose. Mickey Button. Oh, dear oh my. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh. Shall we play Becca Scoops video? Should we go through that? Rod never paid child support. She had to take him to court when Gypsy was little. Open record. Oh. But he says he paid up until the day that Deedee died. Ew, Smokey. Ew, no. It reminds me of Gypsy and her fuzzy poo slippers. Yes, her videos are really good. Let's see. Or maybe I will. Where is morbid? There we go.
Less than 24 hours ago said that she was not going to be posting on social media anymore. In fact, she was going to take a leave of absence to prioritize family and Ken Urker, who's her boyfriend. But she's at it again. This morning, she posted on her TikTok with a short 10-second reaction to her watching the Netflix series Baby Reindeer. Welcome to 2024, Gyp Dipshit. So we have the lady that had to kill her mom due to the abuse and trauma that she went under, making fun of Baby Reindeer. Now, for those who don't know, Baby Reindeer is a Netflix series about a man who deals with a stalker and an extremely sexually abusive friend. It's very graphic and vulnerable. The victim literally played himself and relived everything. And now we're supposed to feel sorry for Gypsy's trauma, but others' trauma don't matter? What are we doing? Here's the clip.
This is so cringe. Oh my god. God, it's terrible.
Who the hell watched this Netflix series and had this ear to shit eating ear grin on their face? Other than Gypsy Rose, of course. My friend and I watched it, and both of us talked about how hard it was to watch, yet how important it was to understand the shit some people go through and have empathy for them, unlike the Gypster here. Look, I understand the show might not be 100% accurate, kind of like the Hulu series The Act, but I'm pretty sure Grifty Blanchard over here should understand that more than anyone. And here's the understatement of the year. Gypsy Rose Blanchard has so much wrong with her. Yep, she sure does. A very disturbed person who is not safe around others. And to post this? It's outrageous. In fact, some people had to take breaks in between watching the Netflix series Baby Reindeer because it was too heavy. It was too heavy to stomach emotionally. Yet this right here, Gypsy Rose, is the face of someone with zero empathy. Hell, she must be taking a break from her advocacy work. And who in their right mind watches a show about essay and laughs? Yeah, someone without a soul. Not just the lack of empathy, a person that's a serious danger to society. Gypsies, the reason jails were built. I hate the thought of people locked up, but Gyp Dip definitely.
Oh, Macy, let me see what you said. I've been working so much, but I will still be bringing receipts as soon as I get a couple days off coming soon. I'll go get all the evidence. Rod never paid child support. Oh, shit. And Macy knows. Macy knows the family. And Christy Blanchard confirmed that. We will wait patiently, Macy. Take your time.
Belongs there. Her head isn't right. It isn't even the right size. I've yet to see any
Yeah,
advocacy work for her to
sorry.
take a break from.
Grifty Blanchard. That was really fucking funny.
And what a creepy smile. Yup, she's ugly and ugly on the inside. The Netflix series Baby Reindeer was excellent, but absolutely devastating to watch. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, not one thing funny about any of it. Yes, I realize it's exaggerated for television, but what that guy endured is nothing short of terrible. I don't know why I would think Gypsy would have the capacity to understand it. And I'm not sure if you guys saw the real woman who came out on Piers Morgan's live show. She was unhinged. Even though she was suing for defamation, she denied she sent him several emails, but she couldn't think of the number. In fact, Piers Morgan asked her to guess, and she side-eyed looked up and said she didn't know. So clearly she's nuts. It was obvious she's not well, and good luck to her for suing, but I think she will lose. All right, let's get back to Gyp Dipshit. I would love to know exactly which bit Gypsy was watching, as I don't think I laughed once the entire season of Baby Reindeer. I don't see a soul in her eyes, just empty shark eyes I see. And oh good lord, did she really spell reindeer R-A-I-N-D-E-E-R? Of course she did. How
She spelled reindeer Raindeer, just like she spelled button Botton. Mickey Button. Mickey Button.
How could you expect anything less? But seriously, what's so funny about Baby Reindeer? The mentally ill stalker, maybe? Or the rape and sexual assault that he goes through? Should we post a big goofy smile and caption, "Me watching the act right now on Hulu, what an ass hat"? And why is she smiling? That show was effed up. Gypsy's sick. And I thought this troll got a nose job. Yikes. Psycho. I'm sorry, but Gypsy Rose needs extensive therapy. Christy Blanchard should be trying to get her to the mental hospital and get some help, the help she so desperately needs, rather than riding her coattails to Hollywood for an all-expense paid trip from the Kardashians. If Gypsy Rose wants to advocate for something, how about mental health after she receives the therapy she so desperately needs? These people are using her in the same way Deedee Blanchard did, and she's eating it up, just like she did before she murdered her mom. And I know what you're all thinking. Wasn't Gypsy Rose going to take her second social media break? Broken promises. Baby Reindeer was so hard to watch. And you might be asking yourself, what the hell is wrong with her? Besides the obvious, of course. Gypsy's absolutely heartless and without a soul, just totally incapable of any kind of empathy or any real kind of feelings towards others. A true monster, and definitely a very scary one, liable to strike again at any time, anywhere. She needs to be locked away from others for everyone's safety. Gypsy's like on the same level as Ted Bundy or even Jeffrey Dahmer. She's a freaking weirdo for real. I'm sorry to say, but Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you need to shut down your social media accounts immediately and get some intensive therapy. Somehow, I doubt that will happen. Anyhow, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. I love reading your comments.
Yeah, sub up to Morbid's channel. He's been putting out some really good videos. I've enjoyed it. So let's take a little trip back in time, shall we? We're going to go and watch the video where Gyp, her first social media break, where, you know, she said she was going to take accountability. Okay. So here's Gypsy Rose taking her accountability before she shut down all her social media, only to come back like a month later with a trip to LA on the beach for the first time, right? Eating in and out and saying things like fetch and that's hot and girly pop. I wonder, though, if she had already split up with Ryan at this time, because notice her hair is blonder. Let me tell you the date of this video real quick. It is from March 14th. Okay.
So to anyone watching, I wanted to
Let's speed it up a little
make a
bit.
video talking about accountability and what that means to me. So when I seen the parole board in December of 2021, I went before a panel of like 3 people, and they asked me how I was doing in prison, what kinds of programs was I entered into, like participating in as far as like institutional classes and stuff like that. And they seen that I got my GED, and I worked for like 5 years to get my GED. Finally got it. The math was what I struggled with the most, but they were really proud of me for getting my GED.
Hey, Sky.
They asked me what was my feelings about my co-defendant.
Oh, that'll be
and
fun, Nicole.
how did I feel that he is doing life without parole, and in comparison to my sentence. And I was honest with them. I've always felt that I feel like more than one life was taken that night because of me, because of what I chose to do. They made it very clear that they felt like I needed to participate in a mental health program. So when they decided that they were going to release me at my mandatory minimum, which was 8.5 years, they put 2 stipulations on me. Mandatory therapy, which is going great so far, by the way. I see a therapist once a week. And no contact with my co-defendant. Absolutely no contact. And that's fine as well.
Yet you can run around the internet talking shit all the way down to talking about his private parts, making jokes about it. You're allowed to slander the fuck out of Nicholas Godejohn, just like you're able to slander the fuck out of your own mother. Because you hold the story, right? Because Nick can't even tell his. Hey, Batty. Good to see you.
I get notified that I'm getting out in, December of 2023. And when that day finally came, I'm not going to lie, like, feeling freedom for the first time felt amazing. And everybody was so supportive at first. And it felt nice. I'm going to be honest, I got carried away in the hype of everything. I came out, I had to promote a documentary, I had to promote my ebook, and going to New York, yeah, it was nice and stuff, but it was so not my life. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't understand why people are so interested in my life. I don't get it at all.
What?
And I did some interviews, and I said some things that I feel confuse a lot of people.
Yeah.
One particular thing I said was on a podcast, and I said I didn't identify as the M word, which we all know what the M word is.
Murderer.
And what I meant by that was not that I'm not branded the M word. I know that I am, but it's not like I'm going to go to a job interview and be like, "Hi, my name is Gypsy Blanchard. I'm an M word." That's all I meant by it. I meant that my past is not
too fucking bad. Too bad. You got to wear that stain, okay? Just like Casey Anthony probably can't walk into a gas station and people not look at her and say, "Oh my God, look, it's Casey Anthony, the one that killed her kid." And she wasn't even found guilty. But she is guilty, in my opinion. You got to wear that stain, boo-boo. Okay?
not define my future. My future is what I make it. And I know that I did something wrong in my crime. And that's something that I have to live with. That's my cross to bear. And everybody doesn't see me bear it to the surface every day. Because I am in therapy. I am working on myself. I'm working on my self-esteem. I can't crawl in a ball and shut my whole life down every single day of my life. No one sees like what my husband sees or what my family sees. I have days that I cry because I keep reliving it in my head.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. You're full of shit. That's what I think. I think you're full of shit. This was all because remember, this video went down pretty fast, just like her Mother's Day video. You suck at lying, okay? I know you think you're good at it. But we all know you don't have a soul. We all know that you lack empathy and sympathy, and you're not upset that your mother's dead. You're not. I don't believe it. You said in an article or an interview somewhere that you had no remorse. I don't think you ever found it.
Cross to bear. And
your actions prove otherwise. Like, just think of everything that is unfolded since this video was made. Like, all the shit talking, going after Ryan, going after Nick, all up in people's comment sections, doing the most.
Guilty of my crime? Yes, I am. But am I guilty of my crime? Yes, I am. But I don't feel like I can't be given a second chance to do better. I want to do better. There's lots of things that I feel like I can contribute to society if
like
only
what?
Given a chance.
Like what? Give us some explanation. I mean, some examples, ma'am. I'm going to need examples of what you're going to contribute to society, because you're doing a fucking fantastic job of running real survivors, real victims of Munchausen by proxy. Kate Marie on TikTok, you ran her straight off the fucking internet. What are you contributing to anything besides laughter and outrage at your stupidity, your utter existence? It's so fetch, right? It's so fetch. I need to put that on my soundboard. So hot. Look at me eat my In-N-Out burger. I want to do better for society. So I'm going to let my clothes fall off while I'm eating this fucking In-N-Out burger. You're really contributing, Gypsy. Way to go.
I feel bad for the things that I've done wrong in my life.
No, you don't.
I'm the type of person that I make a mistake and I learn from it, and I'm not perfect by any means. I'm just as human, just as flawed as the next person. Like I said, I've done things in the past that a lot of people know about. I've lied.
Sorry, I was on mute, but I've done some things a lot of people know about. Yeah. And then this, I'm anything but skinny. I like my fries a little thick because, I'm anything but skinny. That eyeball, I really do try very hard not to look shame Gypsy, but damn. I watched a clip today. I think it was from Gypsy's Revenge, whatever channel that came on. And even as a baby, her nickname was Possum. They called her Little Possum because she had the little beady eyes. She had the chromosomal disorder. She looked like a little baby possum.
I'm just as human, just as flawed as the next person. Like I said, I've done things in the past that a lot of people know about. I've lied. And yeah, I mean, I do my best now that I'm out in the free world. I do my best to try and just live my authentic life and what's real to me. And what's not real is social media. Like, social media is like literally a doorway to hell. Like, it's so crazy. I can't even.
And you love it, probably. You love that doorway to hell, don't you? You're real familiar with doorways in hell. You better get even more used to it. I'm just saying. I bet Gypsy is trolling. I wonder how many fake accounts she has. Because she was out making all these fake accounts under her mom's nose. Snow Gypsy, Bella, Emma Rose, all her fake Facebook accounts. You know she's out here running up under some random named account. Demona Wolf.
Wrap my head around what social media is. I thought that once I got out of prison, I'd come out and I'd enjoy social media like the next, person.
Oh, wild one, Gypsy Manson. I like it.
And I'd come out and I'd enjoy social media like the next, person, taking selfies of myself in the mirror and just acting goofy and everything. It's the simple stuff in life, right? So a lot of people probably already noticed that I deleted my Instagram, my public.
Y'all, I noticed that eyeball every time now. That eyeball. I'm sorry. If you act like you don't need glasses, that's why your mama had your eyes surgery done, Gypsy, and it didn't work. You said you had 12 eye surgeries. Well, you needed 13.
Like the one with it was 7.8 million followers when I deactivated it, or I deleted it. I permanently deleted it. And
See,
a lot of people are like, what happened? What happened?
Boom, there you go. Another lie. I permanently deleted it. No, you didn't.
One with it was 7.8 million followers when I deactivated it, or I deleted it. I permanently deleted it. And a lot of people are like, what happened? What happened? And what happened is I had a really good conversation with my dad, actually. And he gave me some guidance that I feel like I really needed. And that guidance was to just show me that, like, real life is something you could touch, something that you could feel, people that you could actually hug. And with the public scrutiny, as bad as it is, I just don't want to live my life under a microscope. And so I created my private Instagram and I got it verified.
Okay, I'll take that back. Maybe she's not a liar. She might have deleted her old Instagram. It's a possibility, but she did not delete her TikTok.
And you know what? I had absolutely no trouble or like doubts of deleting that public one. And I have people that are like, oh my God, like, you're insane for deleting that kind of a following. And I'm like, I could give a F about a following.
Liar.
Like, that's not
liar.
That's not real life. To the supporters, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I, appreciate all the people that have walked this journey with me.
Oh yeah, cinnamon.
But at the end of the day,
she sure
I'm going to have to walk away and start living a private life. And
now that you bring that up, cinnamon hot. Yeah. So Gypsy, and I know I have the post somewhere. Oh, I actually made a video about it. I blurred the kid's face out though. But yeah, Gypsy posted a picture of her with Ryan's nephew and tagged him on her Instagram post, telling people to go, like, that he was single. This kid was like 13 or 14. And seems to be a trend with Gyp, because Gypsy had a fake account, and there are receipts for this, and I have them somewhere, and I'll find them. But it's a conversation between Deedee and Christy about a post that Gypsy made on Facebook trying to hook her little sister I don't even know how young Mia was, with a boy, trying to hook her up with a boy, and Christy was pissed.
And that takes steps, right? One step at a time. I still have my public TikTok, for now. Contemplating deleting it in a couple months. I don't know. I just probably might not post as much.
What?
But it's like at some point after my new series airs and everything, I want things to calm down. Like I want to go out to the grocery store and, buy a box of tampons and not have to take a selfie with someone. Not that that necessarily bothers me, but, I want people to wave at me because, like, they like me as a person, not because they think, oh my God, there's Gypsy. Oh my God, she's famous. Like, I don't see myself as famous, especially for what? Like, I did something bad. And I mean, I'm trying to make myself a better person now, but I don't get it. That's not me. I'm not famous. I'm not anything. I'm just Gypsy. I'm just a normal Gypsy. So to my family, to my dad, to my husband, all I am is just Gypsy. And they love me for being who I am. And that's why both on my private Facebook and my private Instagram has love for who I am as my bio.
Wait, what, Steffi? Mia's TikTok repost? No, I might have to go look now. All right, this video is almost over.
bio.
How's
And
your
Gypsy.
bio?
And they love me for being who I am. And that's why both on my private Facebook and my private Instagram has love for who I am as my bio. Okay, I got derailed in all this. But the point is that there's some like key points that I want to make. Number one, to all the people that I offended with a lack of accountability the first month or so that I was out of prison, and the lack of accountability in my interviews, I'm sorry. I'm learning. I take accountability for
No, you don't.
my part, and I'm saying this right now. I'm taking accountability. I did a bad thing.
What'd you
But
do?
I've also been given a second chance at life. So please give me a little grace.
No.
Let my actions match my words.
But
And
they
we'll go from
don't.
there.
That's the problem, Gypsy. Your actions don't fucking match your words. Oops.
I definitely have a good support system. And I think I'm just now starting to get around to listening to my inner self instead of all the noise that's been on social media. So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching, hearing me out. I know I just kind of spilled a lot right now. But like I said, at this point, the whole point of this video is to make a public apology to anyone that felt offended by my lack of accountability first coming out of prison and all them interviews and stuff like that, because I do feel regret, but I'm trying to take steps forward, if that makes sense. So thank you for watching. Hope I didn't ramble on for too long. It was like 12 minutes. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so that was in March. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of accountability. I mean, she just does everything she says, right? Oh, no wonder you keep deleting your posts, Jip. Let's see. I mean, Katie Joy is really showing how much accountability you're taking, right? She's your biggest white knighter. This is your biggest supporter now. Okay, so here is another clip that Katie Joy put that says Nicholas Godejohn was not manipulated, period.
As part of the facts that Gypsy did have a role. She was the one to ask the defendant to kill her mom. But we have to be careful and separate out what is collaboration.
Okay, this is closing arguments by the prosecution, who, again, their job is to prosecute Nicholas Godejohn as being the mastermind behind the killing, which is not true.
Versus manipulation. Because there could be this sense that because Gypsy was the one that asked the defendant, somehow she manipulated the defendant into killing her mom. Let's think about that for a minute. Think about manipulation. It requires some kind of deception.
No.
I want to steal a car. So I tell you, hey, see that car over there? The owner said I could have it. It's okay. Could you just go get it for me? That's manipulation because we're deceiving.
All right,
versus,
Lucy,
hey,
sounds good.
that car over there,
Have a
I
good
want to
day at
steal
work.
it. Do you want to do it for me? That's not manipulation. She asked him, but he said yes. And if you think about it, in a way, Gypsy asked in the least manipulative way because she didn't lie at all. She put it all out there. She didn't try to do it through innuendo. She didn't make up things. She just said, this is what's happening to me. Will you kill my mom? There's no manipulation there because ultimately it was the defendant's decision. Nothing was held back from him. And if anything was evident from the dynamic of their relationship that you saw in the Facebook, in the text messages, in the interview, and in Gypsy's testimony, Nicholas Godejohn was not made to ever do anything Nicholas Godejohn did not want to do. And what you saw from the beginning of that request was actually the defendant not only agreeing to this murder, but really getting into this murder. Remember, he's the one that told her, talking himself up, that he's this assassin. And you saw through the text messages how he talks about how don't underestimate his need for killing, how he's getting excited. That's not manipulation. Yes, he was asked to do it, but from that, he took it from there. And he got into it. And he enjoyed it. Now, the issue that you do have to decide, now that we see that no, there's nothing missing, although this is a big, dramatic story, that this case that you are here to decide is quite narrow. We know he killed her. That's not disputed. We know he was trying to kill her. But the real issue is deliberation, right? And whether or not the defendant had the capacity to do so. At this point, there really shouldn't even be any question that the defendant deliberated, because he did. There are psychological things we can look at, and those are important to consider. But at the end of the day, if you're wondering if somebody has the ability to do X, the best evidence is, did they do X? And in this case, that's what happened. Do we wonder, does the defendant have the ability to deliberate? We can think of the psychology, but then put that in context with, what did he do? He did it all the way along for a whole year. Not only that, he described it. And he actually described it quite vividly in that last interview you saw, when he's describing sort of his final deliberation, the culmination of the year. And he describes literally what deliberation is, using symbols, the angel and the devil. And he talks about considering both, and that at the end, it was his decision. The bitch is dead. His words.
Those were also Gypsy's words. Gypsy wrote that on Facebook. I can't hardly listen to this. I want to hear the defense closing arguments. But I do have this other piece that I clipped. I don't even really remember. Let's see, where is it? Gypsy knew she wasn't sick.
Between when you first were put in a wheelchair in June of 2015, that you figured out that you really didn't need to be in a wheelchair.
Yes.
When was that?
I always knew that I didn't need the wheelchair
And how did you know that?
because I could walk.
And
I always knew that I didn't need the wheelchair
And how did you know that?
because I could walk.
Did you and your mother obtain any kind of advantage by you being in a wheelchair?
Yes, sir.
What kind of advantage did you obtain?
Financial, attention, charity.
Financially mean money.
Yes, sir.
Did you obtain money as a result of you being in a wheelchair?
Yes, sir.
How did that work out? How did that happen?
Judge, I'm going to object to the relevance of that. There's been no connection that the defendant knew any of this.
Well, I'm assuming, Ms. Perry, you're going to tie this up.
Well, right now, did you and Nick ever talk about the fact that you didn't need to be in a wheelchair?
Yes.
Did you ever talk to him about why you were required to be in a wheelchair?
Yes.
I'll overrule the objection.
Could you tell the jury why it is that you obtained money as a result of being in a wheelchair?
Because people felt sorry for me.
And they would do what?
And Judge, I'm just gonna object to general relevance at this point.
I'll allow it for the time being. You may answer, Matt.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Asked you why you had taken advantage for being in a wheelchair. You said people gave you money. And I think my next question is, why did they give you money?
Because they felt sorry for me. They believed the lie. They believed the fraud.
When did you tell Nick about the wheelchair? That you being in a wheelchair?
I think maybe a month or so after we met,
When did you tell Nick that you didn't need to be in a wheelchair?
a year into our relationship.
So if your relationship began in October of 2012, it would have been sometime in 2013 that you first told him that you really didn't need to be in a wheelchair.
That is correct.
Were you ill during this period of time?
No, sir.
Did you ever tell Nick that you were ill or that you had illnesses?
I told him that I had illnesses. Yes, sir.
Did you ever tell him that you really weren't ill?
Yes, sir.
When did you tell him you really weren't ill?
The same time that I told him that I didn't need to be in the wheelchair.
What illnesses did you believe you had?
Cancer, muscular dystrophy. I needed glasses. I needed hearing aids. Seizure disorder. And I can't remember what else.
And when did you
You just can't remember what else. You were horribly abused, but you can't remember what. I call bullshit.
figure out that you weren't actually sick?
I started to piece things together when I was about 19 years old. Then I didn't understand the full extent of how healthy I was until after I got arrested.
So even at the time, even as of June of 2015, you still believed you had some of the illnesses?
Yes, sir.
She does remember Dan's
Did you ever
birthday.
run away?
Yes, sir.
When did you, and by run away I mean from your mother,
Yes, sir.
when did you run away?
In the spring of 2011.
Did you tell Nick about that?
Yes, sir.
When did you tell Nick about that?
I don't remember the exact time.
Was it before your mother's murder?
Yes.
Did you ever consider running away after that? After you ran away in 2011?
Yes, but I knew that it would end badly.
What happened when you ran away? Tell us about running away in 2011.
It was in the middle of the night, and I packed a small bag of stuff, and my mother was asleep, so I left the house, and
Now, see, there were two instances that, that are absolutely indisputable. Possibly three, because this story, she likes to intertwine them because she snuck off at the convention into Dan's hotel room. That was a completely separate incident from when she went to the hospital, and then from the hospital to Dan's house. Like, she went to the hospital to see Dan. Dan was in the hospital. She ran away from her home. She went to a neighbor's house. She got a ride to the hospital, and then from the hospital went home with Dan, or to his friend's house, I should say. Deedee found out. Deedee went over there and scolded Dan and took Gypsy home. But it has been stated by several people at that Vision Con that the whole accusing Dan of hooking up with a minor happened at Vision Con. Not during this incident where she says her mom smashed her computer and chained her to the bed. I don't believe that. I don't. I don't believe she was ever chained to the bed.
I met up with one of my friends
And where did you go?
Dan.
to
First at Mercy Hospital in Springfield, and then to his house.
And at some point, did your mom figure out where you were?
Yes, sir.
And when was that?
4
That's
hours
what I
later.
think, Luna
What
Rowe.
happened when your mother figured out where you were?
There's something fishy about that story because she's like, my mom found me 4 hours later, but she accidentally dropped her cell phone out of her bag. Of all things to leave behind when you're trying to run away is your cell phone.
She took me back home. She smashed my computer and my cell phone. She chained me to a bed for 2 weeks.
Did you ever tell Nick about all that?
Yes.
The only time you ran away? Did you receive any other physical abuse as a result of running away other than what you already told the jury?
Yes.
What other abuse?
Hitting, punching, starvation.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think if anyone was hitting and punching, it was Gypsy. That's my opinion. I don't believe her. I don't believe her stories. I really think she makes them up as she goes and just sticks with them. Yeah, I'm not dead yet. What the fuck? And then she went into her mom's bedroom and sniffed her pillow so she could remember her scent. No, that's probably when you put the Barney doll in there. Hello, Mad B. ASM. Oh, that sounds fun. I don't know what that is. I want a VR. Who wants to get me one? Give me a VR. So, have you noticed Katie is only posting Gypsy stuff on her stories on Instagram? Yeah. Yeah. I wonder why that is.
Did you tell Nick everything that had happened between you and your mother during the course of your relationship with him?
Most, but not all.
All the stuff we've talked about is stuff you actually did tell him,
Yes.
and stuff he knew as of June of 2015.
Yes.
And when did you tell him these things? All at once or over a period of time?
Over a period of time.
Beginning at what point in the relationship?
He knew since day one that my mother never allowed me to date. But I don't remember exactly when I told him every single little detail that was going on in my home life.
But you did tell him everything you did tell him by the time of June of 2015.
Yes, sir.
I assume since you believed you to be sick, you met regularly with doctors.
Yes, sir.
Did you also meet with social workers? Or do you remember that?
No, sir, I don't remember.
Why didn't you tell your doctors that you didn't really think you needed to be in a wheelchair?
Judge, I'll object to the relevance of that. That's outside the scope of the knowledge that the defendant would have.
Mr. Perry?
Judge, I think it is relevant. It goes to, it really goes to why this whole thing happened. The fact that, and I'm glad to explain it, but I really don't know we should explain it on the record.
Yeah. Can we go back to it?
I'm going to allow it for the time being. Let's not get too far afield here, Mr. Perry. Do you need the question repeated, Ms.?
Yes, please.
If you'd repeat it, Mr.
I
Perry.
would be glad to. Why did you not tell doctors that you knew you could walk or you didn't believe yourself to be ill during the time that you were doing this?
I didn't think that anyone would believe me. I thought they would eventually tell my mom, and that would make my home life even worse for me. I feared her more than I feared anyone else.
Where's your father during this time?
Louisiana.
Did you ever talk to your father?
Yeah, so that whole interrogation is out. What is it called? Deposition is out there if anybody wants to check it out. I've been trying to watch Nicholas's trial I still haven't made it all the way through. But yeah. Yeah. She didn't show the messages, just read them. He claimed he tried to take her to his mom's in Arkansas, but then he got beat up and wasn't able to communicate well and couldn't help her. Yeah, I think Gypsy thought she was going to get away with it. Yes, please hit the thumbs up if you don't mind. Hit those thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. But yeah, I think Gypsy thought she was going to get away with it and run away with Dan. Always thought that. Okay, what was I going to go pull up now? Let me see. Oh, Nina's. Let's go play Nina's. Also, wait. Chip also got Dan banned from the cosplay group thing because they all thought he was a pedo after that. Yeah, she smeared his reputation very badly. Yes. But Gypsy also says that she met up with a pedophile online and he got handsy with her. That's why she mailed the knife to his house. Hold on. So there were some questions I saved earlier. Someone said, so she wasn't abused. It was all because Nick was crazy and wanted a sex slave. Make it make sense, KJ. Yeah. See, I forgot to ask Fancy about the instruction video that they found. I know the main one where she's telling him where her mom's room is and how to kill her. But okay, so I can answer that. Here, hold on. So they have a lot of evidence still locked up, I guess you could say. A lot of evidence has not been released because of Nicholas's retrial. His appeal. So once the appeal is done, they should release all of the information. Here is one document from the supplemental report. Hold on. Okay, which talks about Demona, I believe. How long is this video? It's a couple minutes long. I'm just going to let it play.
When she called me.
Hey, my sweetie. Hi. Okay. Yes, baby. Hi. Oh my God, it's so good to hear your voice.
At that time, she still wasn't trusting really anyone. She was still not telling Mike everything.
I understand. It's a complicated situation, but what they say on the news is not true.
Then we went in the courtroom. And that's when they showed all the text messaging. When they said they were presenting that, she turned around and looked at us with fear in her eyes. I guess she didn't think that they were going to pull all of those messages up.
Video from Gypsy's cell phone videoing herself to Nicholas. Report. I was notified by Springfield Police Department Computer Forensic Analysis Michael Costello in reference to audio/video footage he located involving Gypsy Blanchard. The video/audio was 15 minutes long. The following is a summation of the recorded audio/video of Gypsy Blanchard. It is not intended as a transcript or exact text of the recording. In this audio/video, Gypsy appears in what looks like a black and color jacket with a red wig, addressing it to Nicholas from Gypsy, calling him, quote, "Sir." She states, quote, "Hi, sir. This is Ruby, and I'm making this video as an introduction video. Gypsy admits Ruby is the most evil side of her. Gypsy stated in this audio/video, she likes to get in trouble, and she is not sorry when she gets caught. Gypsy stated her, quote, caring was broken, and she was not scared of law enforcement, but she would be scared of Nicholas's evil side. Gypsy stated she would do anything with Nicholas to include murder, rape, and assault. Gypsy tells Nicholas if at any time a girl tried to become his girlfriend, she would kill them with pleasure, and there would be lots of gore and blood. Gypsy stated if a girl was trying to get with Nicholas for sex, she might allow it. But if the girl tried to get with him as a girlfriend, she would kill her and they would kill her together. Gypsy goes on to say how if it were family members murdered, she would not be so brutal, and she would have to step back and let him handle it. Gypsy stated she would allow Nicholas to grape her anytime he wanted to, but not physically assault her, but she was okay with, quote, rough sex and grape sex. Gypsy talked about the romantic side of Ruby and how Ruby was not touchy-feely. However, Kitty, Candy, and Bella were the romantic sides of her. Gypsy stated in this audio/video she was very good at stealing and talked about how they could steal bigger things together. Gypsy talked about how she was, quote, very good at planning things. Gypsy said she liked to cause, quote, mischief and mayhem. But Nicholas would have to put her in charge of all the planning. Gypsy stated she comes up with, quote, very, very bad ideas. And then she referred to her bad ideas as robbery, grape, vandalism, and stealing vehicles. The remainder of the video, Gypsy talked about her and Nicholas bonding when they could finally be together. Other than the above-mentioned statements, there was nothing else of evidentiary value on the audio/video footage. A copy of the DVD was attached to this report and was logged into evidence. So what do you guys think about this? Okay. So there you go. That is a summation of one of the videos in evidence, because they do have the Skype videos. They do have Facebook messages, and who knows what else they have in evidence. And hopefully one day they will release it. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I got some things to do. Gypsy, let me read some of the chat though before I go. I think Gypsy probably thought of them as being the new Bonnie and Clyde. That's what it sounds like, for sure. She wanted to go on a spree. Hey, Morbid. Yeah, you caught the end of Alive. Y'all sub up to Morbid. He's been doing really good content on Gypsy. Check him out. I can't grab his link right now, but I'll drop his link before I end it. Bella was the name she chose for her and Nick's baby girl. She lied. Yeah, but see, I don't know if I've seen proof of that. I'm on the fence on this whole Gypsy told, what's his name? Nick, that she was pregnant. I don't know if I read the messages that way. I interpret it as something else when I read them. Here's Morbid's link. Check out his stuff. It's really good. All right. Let's see. What else did I have saved? Someone said there's something in the Silnat said there's something in the UK called mate crime. Someone knows if it's illegal to use someone disabled for a crime. I don't know. Is that a thing? How is Gypsy on and Christy getting away with harassing and bullying people online when Fancy is constantly getting penalized online for telling the truth and putting it out there, shaking my head. Yes, ma'am. Or sir. She sent Nick a text before she arrived at the house saying something like, I've told my mom I love her, so I'm at peace now. And yet she still handed him the knife. All she had to do was leave. Yep. Could have. That's what really blows me away. All she had to do was wait till her mom went to sleep, sneak out, get in the cab, go to the hotel, and then take a bus, a Greyhound bus to Wisconsin. The need to have her mother murdered, in my opinion, is strictly to silence her. Because Gypsy says in news articles that she was afraid they were going to get caught. She knew that time was running out. She knew eventually, maybe that's what her mom had over her head. If you do this, I'm just going to tell the cops how you were in on it all. She did not murder her mother because of Munchausen by proxy. She did not murder her mother because of medical fraud. She murdered her mother because she didn't want her mom to be around. Plain and simple. She didn't want her on the earth anymore. Can you imagine if Deedee were here to tell her side? Oh, the tea. And hopefully one day Nick can tell more of his side. But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't let Nick take the stand at his trial. But I mean, I guess I can understand it because most attorneys advise against that. And he's a vulnerable adult, in my opinion. So maybe he wouldn't have done very well on the stand. It would be scorching hot. Oh, my, my. Oh, my, my. And okay, so I think next time I'm going to sit back and see what happens with Katie Joy and if she continues to simp for Gypsy. I'm going to put some stuff together and we'll have a whole Katie Joy expose. Where to begin on that one? Well, that's what I think, Jackie. I think it's pretty cut and dry when it comes to the motive. The motive was to get rid of her mom. She wanted to get rid of her, and she did. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for being here. No word on Kate. This isn't the first time that this has happened with Kate. Kate left TikTok once before over the Gypsy stuff. I can't remember the details of it, but it had something to do with Gypsy. I didn't even know she had come back. Oh, she's definitely going to keep on. I would love to hear from Claudinia's sisters. I don't think her sisters hate her. I think her, it's not even her biological dad. Gypsy's grandfather is not even Deedee's biological father, according to Bobby Petrie. And he was a horrible person to interview. Where are her sisters? Why is no one speaking out on behalf of Deedee? I would love to know. Well, look, Gypsy's 24/7 now. There's always something popping off with that crazy bitch. That crazy bitch. Where's Rod's family? I heard the other day, I think Fancy said that, I think it was Fancy, that this Christy's sisters, I don't remember if she has brothers or sisters, like live not far from their property. I don't know. One of them, at least the one with the ashes, does not agree with Gyp and does not support her. She spoke against her but got silenced. Bobby's mom banged the grandpa. Is that true? Is that true? I wouldn't be surprised. I would love to hear more from her side. Like the people, like Deedee had to have people that cared about her. She was actually a very caring person, like to the extreme, where, you know, when they did the Habitat for Humanity celebration thing, the ceremony where they're on the porch hammering the nail and blah, blah, blah. Deedee served all of them. She made gumbo. She had a feast set up for the workers. And like I said, with Habitat for Humanity, you are required to be eligible for a home. You have to give back. You have to help these organizations. You have to donate your time. And that's what Deedee would do. Deedee donated a lot of her time going to these conventions for feeding tubes. Like, I'm just saying, somebody out there had to have cared about this woman. There has to be at least one person that gave a shit about Deedee Blanchard. Dr. Beckerman. Right, but all these people they met along the way, there had to have been at least one person that like called Deedee their friend. And I don't mean the neighbor. She obviously was bullshitting that neighbor. Or maybe she was bullshitting everybody. Why are they not talking about it? Why does only Gypsy's side of the lie matter? Hello, Terry Bailey. My cat just fell. Hope you're well. Yes, yes. Shout out to the replay crew. You know, go back, rewatch it. I try to bring up some relevant points here. Gyp's out here doing the most, okay? She didn't log off. She didn't log off at all. She's still out here running the damn internet streets. Street walking Gypsy with her magic legs. She does have magic legs. What are your okay? So the people that have been following along with all the drama, do you think Ken and Gypsy are actually still together? Maybe we'll close out with that. Let's see. Let me go to Gyp wrote a love poem. Not really a poem. She, you know, sharing her love for her man because everybody's out here speculating that Gypsy and Ken are on the rocks. And, you know, Gyp can't be having all that. Better not. And she also, I noticed, she changed her Instagram picture to a picture of her and Ken. Because the other day, it was this picture. No, which one? Where'd it go? I don't know how to work Instagram on a computer. I don't see it. Where did it go? It was this one. This was her profile picture yesterday. And now it's one of her and Ken. This one. All right. So notice here, I saw Nina pointed this out. Notice the background. Notice the shirt and the hat, right? This was posted April 28th. April 28th. Okay. That's when Ken came in town and they were, you know, hitting up fucking New Orleans. And then here's the picture she posted yesterday. Same hat, same shirt, same kind of background, maybe. I don't know. But Gypsy writes, I love you with all my heart. Every moment with you brings happiness that I never knew could be possible. We have a bright future ahead of us. I can only hope that I bring the same joy to your life. I have loved you from the moment we shared our first kiss back in 2017. And in that moment, my heart had unknowingly been gifted to you. Without my control, I had given you my whole trust, love, and future, because from that day forward, no one else could ever compare to the love we share. Love, Gyp Gyp. Mickey Button. Mickey Button.
tube's name was Mickey Button. And so she came up with a song. It went like this. Mickey Button, MICKEYBOTTON. Mickey Button, Mickey Button.
Yes, that is right. She spelled button BOTTON, just like she spelled reindeer RAINDEER. Oh, Gyp shit, you are stupid. But who are you trying to convince in this post? I think you're trying to convince yourself, okay? That's what it looks like here. This looks like a desperate attempt to be, look, see? I told you guys, everything's great. Me and Ken are great. And who doesn't respond back to this lovely post? Ken. Ken doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. He didn't respond. That's got to sting a little bit, Gyp Gyp. That's got to sting. I don't even think he liked the post. It would show up. It would say Ken Urker loved the post. No one's convinced. Mickey Button. Mickey Button. All right, guys. She spells her boyfriend's name K-I-N. Oh, Ken. Where's Ken? Should we be worried for Ken? Is he breathing? Do we know if he's alive? Anybody? Anybody?
I want a lawyer. Please, sir. Sir. I want a lawyer. Please, I need a lawyer.
Okay, have a seat.
Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
Oh, Gyp Gyp. What will tomorrow bring? What will tonight bring? Maybe she's going to log off. Look, what are we on? We are on May 27th. The series comes out on the 3rd. Somebody remind me. Early June. Early June. You know Gypsy's going to be pulling out all the stops. Yeah, she needs to sit down. That's when the interrogation tells her, you're done. You're done. I need to clip that. You're done. Give us a sign of life, Ken. Okay, so we've seen Gyp Gyp on skates. Remember the ice skates? It's one of my favorite videos. We've seen Gyp Gyp, say it was the first time she was on the beach. We've seen Gyp Gyp eat her first In-N-Out burger. We've seen Gyp Gyp floating around like a wet beaver in the shallow end of the pool that was already shallow all the way around. So what's next? What is next? Now she's crying victim, I guess. She needs Katie Joy for backup. That's going to go well. That's going to go real well. What's on the horizon, Gyp? One can only tell. All right, guys. Anything else? Let's see. Do I have any fun little clippies?
Hi, honey. I'm feeling it. He's eating a brownie. But later he will be eating me.
Ew. think she talks to Ken like that. I'm eating royal mashed potatoes. Extra moist. Ew. Extra dry. Sorry. That was a little too far. I apologize. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I will see you when I see you. I don't know when that will be, but it will be somewhere. So everybody have a good Memorial Day. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you guys later. Peace out. If I can find my fucking video. All right. Everybody have a good one. See you next time. Bye. A disclaimer that I don't have all that much time today. Got a little bit of time today.
This beat is going to drop in 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's fair game, right? Bye, everybody.